what was it like competing on Polaris, and did it differ from the environment on ADCC or IBJF in that really high level?
The setup and the way that they look after the athletes and all is just so professional. And the so like I was chatting to Matt as well after the show, and he was saying that like him and some of the other people that are involved, they put a lot of effort into just generally trying to design a better show constantly. That's why it's always changing the formats, and they're always just like trying to add little bits in. But actually having people that are making an input to be like, okay, we have to, add this in, add that in, change the rules, and also listen to the both the competitors and the spectators. It makes a big difference because yeah, like a lot of shows and organizations just to a degree will just take advantage of the athletes on the basis that they've no other alternatives, so having a professional show that makes a big effort actually it really matters in my opinion.
And I think Polaris, I was talking with Matt recently in an interview, and he was talking about how there's going to be a lot of changes with Polaris. I think they're going to be introducing a round system where they were thinking about it.
Yeah,
There was talks, and I don't think they will for a while, but there was talks of introducing the pit, but it is quite difficult to introduce that whole pit system.
yeah.
But speaking of things getting sent out, I heard there is invitations to CJI too getting sent out. If you had the opportunity to compete on a competition like that, would it be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not gonna say no, am I? No. Uh, yeah, I would love to compete on these shows. Obviously, I just think I need to win a few more big tournaments to really solidify my um, status to be put on these events. But yeah, there's a few other interesting developments in the grappling scene. The UFC are setting up contracts as well for grappling athletes. So I know of a few people that I've heard of being in negotiations. Obviously, one as well is big, and then the CJI, and then there's ADXC as well. So there's a lot more kind of like just groundswell around the professional shows, just because I think since obviously since CGI did the open their numbers up and let people see how many people are competing and how big the shows are. That actually makes a big difference for the companies that are sponsoring the events and that are involved in the events, because they can make a more realistic forecast of what the appropriate amount to spend on these events is, that they can get a return on their investment.